But we'll start with the launch. Corporate jobs are boring. That's just my opinion, I guess, working in a startup. But today we're launching a means to bypass the traditional, the mundane, office politics, a way to get away from the push and shove from the ladder and rat race to success that you might find in a corporate environment. And Merevik is a way of achieving that. I'm the founder of Merevik and the host of the event tonight. I mean, I've tried to get around to as many of you tonight as possible and see what sort of ideas you have. I'll try to keep the presentation short. Should be about 10 minutes or so. We want Merevik to be a one-stop shop for incubation in Geelong. And we are actually the first business incubator in Geelong. And there's a few things that make up a business incubator. The first thing is an inspirational workspace with a picture taken on my phone so it doesn't look too great. But as you might have noticed around the place, there's a few pieces of artwork that some Deakin art students have been very generous with their time and skills. Cameron Bishop, one of the lecturers, responded to my email and made it part of their coursework to put up these exceptional pieces of artwork. We've got here the Geelong foreshore, imagined in the future, a wool installation that incorporates the history of Geelong, given the wool heritage, and also some of the bricks there and the lines coming up from the stairs. So I'd like to thank them. I don't think they're here tonight, but they'll probably watch the video, so that's good. So what else makes up an incubator? The sharing culture, sharing some pie, sharing ideas, interchanging customers. I might have a customer that needs something done that I don't do in my business, but you might. And along the way, through a journey of starting up a business, we still need to make a bit of cash on the side to keep ourselves going, to pay the bills at home, and also to bounce ideas off each other. So there's a strong concept of sharing within a business incubator. Finally, investor connections, and that's something that's come to fruition very recently. I've been able to meet a few people locally, which is very important, that are interested in investing in startup businesses. That includes an individual in Geelong, as well as the promise of the Geelong Business Angels group forming. Hasn't formed yet, but we very much hope that they move along with that and allow it to have to bring that money into startup enterprises in Geelong. So there's a process involved if you want to get involved in this business incubator. It usually starts with an idea, and I've had several ideas over my time, and I thought, yes, I've got an idea, I'm a genius, I'm going to be a millionaire. And you think, well, what do you do now? You think, well, can I just take that idea and sell it to someone? And it's not that easy, unfortunately, but we want to make it easy. And we're looking for people who have big ideas, because that's what investors want to find as well. We need to present people that have ideas that would change the world, just like things like Facebook and Google, these big things that you've seen. There's lots of other big ideas that you might not have even experienced or used yourselves, but in different industries, in different verticals. There are big ideas that are being commercialized all the time, and they do make big changes, and that's what we're looking for. So you have to think big. Global vision, local win. So that's a quote from Jack Ma from Alibaba. Some people might have used Alibaba before, but we're looking for people who think globally. If you just think about, running one hairdresser studio, you might be very good at it, might be a very good service, but that's not global. It's not going to be very scalable. But if we do have something global, a success story in the global space is Atlassian. They're based in Sydney. They've listed on the stock market, and they're now selling software development tools around the world, and that's a local win for obviously their community. And if we have global success stories, that's a local win for Geelong as well. Important factor is that individuals don't build great companies, teams do. So if you're thinking of building something on your own, good luck. You might be successful, but it's very rare that you'll be able to wear too many hats at once and do it well. And in addition to being on your own, you'll have less time than a bigger team that's committed to one goal. If you have a great idea and it becomes a bad idea because someone else ends up beating you to it, if you have a good team, you can switch to another idea and still be successful. This is very important if you're starting up a new business, and extremely important if you want investment. Investors will look at your team and want to see a broad range of strong skills to be able to be confident that even if your idea fails, they can still rely on you to build something else and do what's called pivoting to something that's close to what you've already done, but a bit different, so that you can still make success out of that. So after I've talked to you, the idea is we give you a desk for free in this general area here. As much as possible, if you can come and use it, then that means you can collaborate and experience the sharing nature of a co-working space in Business Incubator. You can feed off each other's energy as other startups are trying to start up their own business as well. And you'll also be able to, as I said before, trade ideas, experiences, customers, and more. So Walt Disney said the way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. Now, when I started my business, I was looking for a lot of grants. I was looking for a lot of information, how do you start businesses. But I've learned that if you just get down and actually build something, particularly a prototype, you can then, of course, show customers and get your first sales. You can potentially show investors and get capital to bring your product to a first version, and then also get further capital for mass marketing. In addition, Mark Cuban says sweat equity is the best equity there is. That means doing it yourself to start with, showing that you've got conviction in your idea, and of course your time is free to you. You still have to live and you still have to eat, but by and large, you're the best person to invest in yourself, and your own personal contributions to your own business is very important. Finally, the lean startup method is not about cost, it's about speed. So if you're in university, for example, and you've got an idea, that's a perfect time to spend a lot of time on your business before you have too many responsibilities and costs. If you can get to a prototype very quickly, and most specifically a minimum viable product, you'll be able to be in a very good position when you leave university. So after, well, depends on your business, but let's say in about a month, depending on your time, how much time you have for yourself and your business, we hope to pitch a startup idea to a local investor, and he's willing to put in around $25,000 that you can put straight into your business, so you don't have to worry about your employment. You can then put all your focus into a prototype of your product or service, and then you're able to put forward for another round of funding, possibly even in Silicon Valley. Some of that money might pay for you to go to San Francisco and pitch to investors in that region, and that gives you obviously a great opportunity. And that means that finding the best idea is what you want to do. You might have an idea today. Don't stop thinking about ideas. You might think of something that's better. And if you're going to take an opportunity, take the opportunity with your best idea. So we've got a couple of startups here today already working from this space. One of them is Treasured Mems, who provided for free this photo booth today, so I encourage everyone to take advantage of that after I speak. We're going to have a bit of a laugh. And we've also got here Menu Hub. Adam Kirk, actually went to university with Adam at Deakin, and we were in the same year. And he gave me a lot of the ideas for this workspace. He's the one that inspired me to build it as a co-working space initially, and it's now since grown into a business incubator. Adam started just over a year now, the Menu Hub business. He's been working with local businesses, and I'll let him speak for himself. I'll introduce Adam, who will just give you a brief overview of his business. Give him a hand.
Thanks, Todd. So I thought today I'll just give a bit of an overview in my journey in the startup world and in the business world. I guess most of you guys are interested in business and technology in some way, and yeah, I just thought I'd share a little bit about where I started and where I am today. So before I start, I'll just tell you a little bit about Menu Hub. So Menu Hub, we help customers find food easily. So that involves a few things, in particular the menu. That's the unique thing that we bring to the table. And also reviews and allow you to order online and book online. I'll talk a little bit more about that in detail later on. So my startup journey started when I was in high school, actually, my business journey. I used to sell DVDs out of my school locker. And I thought it was a great business, you know. I thought I'll be the first one to buy a DVD burner, and you know, I can start copying CDs and selling them. I even, you know, had some bundles that I would give people. So if you bought 6 DVDs, then you'd get the 7th one for free. And I thought that was really nice. Then I moved on to building computers, and this was about 10 years ago now. When I was building computers, back then you could go to like a local swap meet and buy all the parts and put it all together, and then sell it in a local paper, and you could make a profit on it. Today you can't really do that, but back then you could, and I'd done that for about 6 months or so. Then I went to uni at this stage, and when I went to uni, I was always looking for ideas on, okay, what can I do to, you know, earn a few dollars here and there. And you know, we wanted some cans of drink to drink, of course, so I ended up bringing in a fridge into the uni honours room. And you know, I'd sell cans of drink, and by the end of the honours year, would have the full honours room was all covered with cans of drink. I think we had hundreds of cans there. And I took that a step further, and I went and bought a vending machine. And I thought, you know, hey, you know, I want to get into this soft drink business and sell some cans. It's easy to do. You just turn the fridge on and you buy them at, say, 30 cents. You sell them for $1. You make a bit of profit. And then I needed somewhere to put it, so I went into my parents' workshop. They own a mechanic workshop, and they already had a vending machine in there. And you know, the workers out the back, you know, they're working on cars all day. They get kind of thirsty. And what I did is I asked my dad. I said, you know, how much do these guys pay to have the vending machine there? And he's like, well, they don't pay anything. You know, it just we have it as a convenience, I guess. And I said, okay, well, what if I got a vending machine, you know, could I put it there? And he said, yeah, sure, you know. So we called the guys and got rid of that vending machine, and wheeled mine in, and that was the start of my vending machine business. And I'd done that for about 6 months or so. And then I sold the vending machine to my parents' business, so I got my money back, plus the amount for the cans, which was nice. Then I moved to Edinburgh, overseas for a while, and I lived over there. And I started to get into the tech space. I was always interested in technology and had been building websites for ages. And I met a Lithuanian guy, and there was an opportunity there to start a carpooling site in Lithuania. And so basically carpooling is sharing a ride with someone, generally between, say, 2 cities. And it's very, very popular over there. A lot of people use it. And so we built a website that helped people connect and communicate and tee up rides with each other, and that worked quite well. It was very, very popular, and we had quite a lot of users using that. I then moved back to Australia. I left that with him over there, And then I thought, okay, I'll apply this idea to Australia. That didn't work so well. It turns out Australia is a lot different culture, and people don't want to share rides with other people. It's kind of weird here, so that's okay, but it's not good if you want to do a business doing that. So things might have changed a little bit now. I know a lot of ride-sharing services are becoming quite popular. Then I moved into, what was after that? Yeah, Armour Backups. So I was interested in the technology space for a while, and then I wanted to do my own thing, but didn't quite get there. So I was doing freelancing. So freelancing is kind of a step towards nearly, going out on your own and launching your own products. So I was freelancing and contracting for a while, and kind of doing that as well as my own idea, which was Armour Backups. The disadvantage of that is you don't have complete focus of the one thing, and I thought it was very detrimental to making the business take off. Like a startup's hard enough without having the obstacle of not much time. When I was there, when I was here working, I was working on Armour Backups here. I encountered some frustrations, and that was with ordering food, which was really quite annoying me. So basically that frustration was I would go down to Lipari, which is the Italian restaurant just behind you there, and wanted to pre-order. Like you'd go there and you have to wait 15 or 20 minutes to collect your meal. I thought it was a bit annoying because I didn't know what was on the menu. I had to walk down there, see what was on the menu, order, then come back here and do something for 15 or 20 minutes and then go back. Not ideal. So I'd done this about 3 or 4 times. I could have just got the menu, but I kept on forgetting. So after the 3rd time I'd done this, I was walking up the stairs and I was just like, why doesn't someone have the damn menu online? It would be really helpful. And I was very into SEO and Google AdWords and things like that at the time. And what I thought is, okay, well, I wonder how many other people are looking for this menu of this particular restaurant. And it turned out that 98 other people, according to the Google AdWords tool, were looking for Lipari's menu that didn't exist. And I thought, okay, well, what if I put it online? Would that, offer some value? Because I always believe if you offer some value, you can somehow then be compensated for that down the road. And it turns out I put some menus online, about 5 or 6, and started to get some traffic to them. I thought, oh, this is, not too bad. What if I did all of Geelong? And, that was what I set out to do over, say, a 3 or 4 month period. We went and collected every restaurant menu, close to every restaurant menu in Geelong, and bring it together all in one website. And from that, we're hoping to get traffic of, say, about 100 a day. And since we launched, we hit that target in about 2 months, which was great. And then today we're much more than that. So it's growing at a really great pace, and it's we're extending it now to do online ordering and online bookings, which gives us a way to sort of bring in some income from that. So that's pretty much my journey in a nutshell, I guess. Happy to take some questions or any questions you have maybe about your own business or startups in general, or the space here. I've been here for quite a while now. So if anyone has any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Any questions now? Anyone? Maybe you can ask him later when we're mingling. Oh, here's one. Yep, sorry.
Just on the theme of thinking global and local, were you thinking global?
Yeah, at some stage. I think you definitely have to focus first on local. And if you try to think, or I find if I try to think too far ahead too quickly, it becomes so overwhelming. So just keeping the focus very local at the moment. Once it works local, then of course we'll look at expanding further.
Yeah, I was just going to find out, some people get into certain diets or whatever, like they might be gluten-free. I've tried to get into a bit of what they call paleo recently.
Okay.
I was just wondering, do you have any tools on the website that directs people to various restaurants that are friendly with a particular diet strain?
Yeah, well, what we actually do is we actually put in the menu into our system, So it's not just a simple document. We've actually itemised each menu, and attached to each menu is whether it's gluten-free or vegetarian, for example. So it'll then allow you to search for all gluten-free menu items. And you could then assume that if a restaurant has gluten-free menu items, then they're a pretty gluten-free friendly restaurant. So yeah, we can definitely search by that sort of thing, but it's mainly at the menu level rather than the restaurant level, which is quite nice because it's a bit more detailed. So even if you're looking at one menu, for example, so say you're looking at a pasta restaurant's menu, you could then filter very easily to say, okay, take out everything besides vegetarian food. You could do that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's all right. Anyone else? Well, I'll give Adam a hand, round of applause for that.
Thanks. Thanks, Todd.
To conclude, I had on my flyer, we had some big announcements, so I had to think of some big announcements to give. So I think I've thought of a couple. Okay, one of the things we want to do from this point onwards, so we've got a launch, and that means there's more to come, is the idea of a hackathon. So this is particularly aimed at people who have technical skills. Hackathon is basically where a lot of what we would call hackers or programmers come together, and maybe every month, maybe every fortnight, and we work on a particular project that we all decide to work on. It might be an open source project where there might be a bounty open for it. For example, Linux, that's a popular open source project. There might be a bug in there that a corporation wants fixed, and they've put some money on that, said whoever can fix this, we'll give you some money. So we're looking at running these events, and we're hoping to keep in contact with all the technical students who are here tonight, and reaching out to all the rest in Geelong. It's a great way to continue developing your skills, and along the way you might find another opportunity to start up a business. Another big announcement is that we have a few ideas of our own that we're willing to give to students that have good technical skills. We've got our own particular ideas that we're working on, and we might never get to those other ideas. So we're quite happy to see them get developed. But I mean, it's something that you have to sort of have an interest in yourself. You have to believe in that idea, and you can come and talk to me if you want to know some of the details of those ideas. Some of the areas of these ideas are journalism. So the newspaper industry is seeing a decline, and the news companies are very keen to see a solution to that. They're trying to move into digital, to move their newspapers to a digital format, which is working to a degree. But we believe we've got a possible solution for that. So there's a good exit strategy for that idea. A mobile game, just because I like this game. Logistics, we have a logistics system which actually is in the same domain to a degree as Google's driverless cars. We think they've missed out on one very particular detail that they could be focusing on, that could actually get wide adoption all over the world. They're having trouble getting regulations for getting through regulations for driverless cars, but we have the solution to get around that. And also finally, encrypted communications. There's a lot of concern about government watching what people are doing, particularly business to business, and we have a system that can provide perfect encryption between two sites, and we're willing to share details of that if anyone's interested in making that into a business. And that's it. Thank you for your time, and please feel free to use the photo booth and mingle a bit more, and hopefully we can catch up more in the future. Thank you.